Hey guys, it's Sam with The Blind Life. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to continue our look at the new OKO app for the iPhone. First, we'll take a closer look at the app, and then we'll go out to an intersection where I will show you all the steps for using the app to successfully cross the pedestrian crosswalk. All right, let's get into it. Before we get started, if you'd like to see my first video on the OKO app, where I gave an overview of the app and talked about how helpful it could be for us, then I will have a link in the video description down below or popping out on the screen right there. Okay, when you first launch the app, you have to go through and accept all the terms of service. One thing to note about this though is that in that section, it does talk about how the OKO app is not a replacement for all of your other orientation and mobility skills. This is simply a companion, just another tool to help when crossing the street, help you be successful. So take a second and read through all that information. Then when you launch the app, it opens up your camera and you're presented with the main screen here. By default, you're in the pedestrian traffic signal mode. This is where it's constantly looking for the pedestrian crossing signal. If we swipe to the right,
open menu, button.
VoiceOver kind of jumps in a weird fashion. It actually jumps all the way down to the bottom right item, which is the menu item. We'll come back to that.
Referral program, button.
If I continue to swipe to the right here, the next item that it focuses on is the referral program. And this is a new feature. We'll talk more about that.
Report a mistake, button.
You report a mistake.
Settings, button.
And then you can jump into the settings. First, let's go back to our menu.
Open menu, button.
In this menu is where you will find all the different modes. Currently, at least here in the US, we only have the pedestrian traffic signal mode, but the developers of OKO say that they are going to continue to develop the app and add different modes in the future. The only other option in here is to suggest an action, and this is where you can submit feedback to the developers. It essentially opens up an email area where you can suggest some improvements for the app.
Referral program, button.
The referral program is a brand new feature. So this is basically just an incentive-based feature that they have going on, where if you refer the app to a friend and then they sign up for the app, you will get points on a leaderboard. And then at the end of this predefined time period, whoever is at the top of the leaderboard gets a prize. I think it's like a gift card or something simple like that. So pretty cool. Jump on in here and start referring this app to all of your friends who have iOS devices. Remember, the app is free, so it doesn't cost them anything. And if they sign up for it, then you get some points and you can start working your way up the leaderboard. Incidentally, if you want to help me be the top of the leaderboard, I'll have a link in the video description for my referral.
Settings, button.
Finally, let's jump into the settings. First option in here is your account information. I'm going to skip that.
Refer friends, button.
Here's another link to refer a friend. It takes you pretty much to that same place we just were.
Preferences, heading. Camera, button.
And now here we get into some of the things that you can customize. First one is your camera settings.
Camera visual, switch button, on.
And it's very simple. You can either opt to have your camera turned on or your camera turned off. It doesn't really turn off your actual camera. It just turns off the display that you see on the screen. The benefit of this is if you can't see the screen, there's no point in having that on, so you can turn it off and save some battery. The app will still perform just as well as it does with it turned on.
Audio and haptic, button.
Next, we have audio and haptic.
Audio, switch button, on.
And this is very similar to the camera section. In here, you can either turn the audio on or off, and also the haptics on or off.
Privacy settings, button.
Next, we have privacy settings.
Contributions, heading. Share anonymized images, switch button.
Here you can decide to either share or not share anonymous images. Obviously, you can decide whichever you would like, but I would encourage you to leave it on because the images that get sent back to the team is how the application learns and continues to get better. It doesn't send any of your information. It doesn't do any of that. All of the images that get sent are just used to improve the system.
Help and support, heading.
And then the last three options are just different help and support.
Write a review.
You can write a review.
Contact us, button.
Contact the developers.
Website, link.
Or head on over to their website. All right, so that was a quick look at all the different elements of the application. Next, we're going to head out to an intersection and talk about best practices while using the application to successfully navigate those pedestrian crosswalks. The first thing is you want to get as close to the beginning of the crosswalk as possible. Now, of course, be very careful about this. Obviously, stay safe when doing this. But the reason behind this is that OKO, the app, uses line of sight. So it needs to be able to see the pedestrian crossing signal on the other side of the street. So you don't want anything blocking it. For example, if you're in a big crowd of people getting ready to cross the street, you don't want the tall guy in front of you blocking the signal. OKO's not going to be able to see it. So try to make your way up to the front of the crowd as close to the intersection as possible. A good tip is to get up until you feel those truncated domes with your cane or underneath your feet. The best way to hold the phone, you want to hold it up on your chest, flat against your chest, facing out in front of you. And this is so if you're using a cane or holding on to a guide dog, you can still do that. The phone should be in your opposite hand. Next, you want to find the pedestrian signal across the way. And you do this by slowly rotating left to right. Left to right about 180 degrees. When OKO sees the pedestrian signal across the way, it will start to vibrate, beep, and flash a certain color on the screen. That is, if you still have all of those turned on. Once again, you have the option to turn some of those off in the settings. Either way, when you feel the vibration, you hear the beeping, you know you're pointed in the right direction. Now, the app alerts you in 3 different ways. You have vibration, audio beeping, and a specific color that covers the screen. When the crossing signal is displaying the red hand don't walk signal, the app does a steady pulsing and vibrating with a red color tint on the screen. Then when the crosswalk shows the walk signal, the phone starts to beep and vibrate very rapidly and displays a green color on the screen. Finally, when the signal shows the countdown, the app starts to play this very rhythmic pulsing pattern with vibration and a yellow color tint on the screen. One really nice aspect of holding the phone against your chest while you're walking across the street is that if you get a little bit off target and you feel the vibration stop or hear the beeping stop completely, you know you veered a little bit left or right and you need to go back the other way. This allows you to confidently navigate to the other side because as long as it's beeping or vibrating, you'll know that you're always going in the right direction. Now, if you're in a similar situation as I am, where I can't see the pedestrian signal across the street, so I can't tell when it says to start walking, but I still do have enough vision to navigate across the street. So in situations like that, you can just hold your phone up, and then when it starts to beep very rapidly and you know it's time to walk across, you can put the phone down. You don't have to hold it up the whole time. The app has told me that it's safe to start walking, so it's done the job for me. I can put it down and put it away if I want to. Another option is to wear your phone around your neck on a lanyard or some other way, and this allows you to use the OKO app to cross the street completely hands-free. All right, a few more things to remember about the app. You should never use the app in power saving mode. You know, when your battery gets down to a certain percent and it says, hey, do you want to turn on power saving mode to save some battery? Well, that mode, in order to save battery, it does turn off certain features of the phone. So just to be on the safe side, don't use OKO when you're in that power saving mode. Also, if you are a voiceover user, you might want to turn off screen recognition. That is one of the new modes for voiceover where it uses AI to try and recognize what the camera is looking at. Well, because we are using our camera to see the pedestrian sign across the street, screen recognition might start talking to you, trying to tell you what you're looking at. And that could be distracting while you're trying to pay attention to crossing the street. So best practice, just go ahead and turn that off as well. Finally, the team over at OKO have included a ton of orientation and mobility reference materials on their website. Really helpful information. I will leave a link to that down below as well. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it gave you a lot of great information about the application and how to use it. Once again, if you'd like to see my previous video on the OKO app, you can check out that link down below. Also, while you're down there, if you have any questions for me, leave those in the comments. And if you're thinking about trying out the OKO app, don't forget to click on the referral link in the video description down below. I want to be at the top of that leaderboard. I'm telling you, my competitive nature. Once again, it's a free app, so it doesn't cost you anything at all. Download it to the phone and try it out. All right, if you liked the video, you found it helpful, be sure to hit the like button. Also, make sure you're subscribed to The Blind Life and turn on notifications. I put out videos just like this one every single Saturday. That's it, guys. Sam with The Blind Life. I'll see you next time.